and welcome to the family. In this video I'm going to be giving my honest review, I don't have a script or anything, about what I think about the ACE curriculum, which is the curriculum I've been doing for the past 7 or so years, which, to be honest, I think that gives me enough time to give my honest and open opinion because I've been doing it for ages.
That's fine.
So I'll be telling a little bit about each pace and why I like or what I like or dislike about it. So I'll start off with creative writing. So one thing I really like about this curriculum is that the characters grow up with you. I'll explain the characters a bit more when I open the other books. But these are the books from our creative writing paces. So this one is one you start when you're quite young. I don't remember how, maybe level 3? About that sort of level, which is year 3 or year 2. Yeah. So of course this is quite a young book. It's got big writing, doesn't have many pictures, but it does have a few. It is quite an old curriculum, which they are updating at the moment, so they're in between modern and still quite old, but that doesn't really change the way the curriculum works, and it's still a very good curriculum in my personal opinion. So you go from about this sort of babyish book to something like this, small writing, black and white pages, and it's about Michael Faraday, and you have a few of these per year. So what I like about the creative writing, what I dislike is that sometimes you have to read through a few pages before you actually get to the question that you need to answer. But that's not really a problem because you just need to read the book, and it does make sure that you're actually reading the book rather than just trying to find the sentence that you're looking for. And I definitely really like this because reading books, especially the ones they choose, can generally be quite fun. Likes or dislikes first?
Let's go for the likes.
Okay. We have 6 books here. These are my dislikes, these are my likes. So surprisingly, maths pace is in my likes, which is a little bit weird because I'm not very good at it. But I am gradually getting better because the way that they lay the paces out and the way that the questions are laid out can really help you find answers. So it just explains it in a really good way. And it's got good examples, and it's not just a thing where you read the examples on the page, they also ask you to get involved on the answers, like on the examples. I'm just looking for one there. It does that. Like here. This is just an example page, but you have to answer all the questions so that they make sure you understand it before you go on to the actual questions, which would end up being on the next page, and then slowly but surely you just go through it like that, if that makes sense. But yeah, that's what I really like about this pace. Sometimes it can be hard because they do phrase things in a little bit of a weird way, but generally once you get a little bit of help, it's quite easy to do. Alright, we'll go on to science next. Ignore this, but this is the science pace. What I like about this is one of the more modern ones. So now you can go onto their website and see their videos that they have on it, and these are all newly recorded, fairly new at least, and explain it in a really good way. So you get to watch the videos and answer certain questions. So we learn more about plants and animals when we do like biology, but that will come in a few years' time, or maybe next year, can't remember how it works. But etc. But it says watch Lab 2 Chicken Embryology, and you watch the video, and they show you this in the video, and they tell you the names and why it's like this, and they show you how to handle it and putting it under a microscope, and how like that sort of thing works. So I don't really have many dislikes about this page, this case I mean, and it's generally quite a fun one. Oh yeah, because I'm learning about chicken embryos and the chicken life cycle here, I want to get some chickens and then we can give them back to the people. I realise that this is kind of a year 1 and nursery thing to do, but I want chickens, so we're going to get some chickens. Okay. This is a social studies place. So this is history and geography basically, and kind of merged into one. I haven't actually opened this one yet, but so in this one, which is the next one up, I think, I am learning about the Industrial Revolution, and this one I also don't really have many dislikes about because it's just reading the text and answering questions. And history, the way they make it at least, is generally quite fun. They show you the good and the bad, and they don't really put their opinions in there too much so that you can form your own opinion. Sometimes when they do, it's a little bit annoying for me personally, but they don't do it very often, so you can form your own opinion about it and have a proper discussion. So we did a curriculum before, kind of did it half and half when we were just starting the paces, and that curriculum was called Classical Conversations, and it honestly really helped me with these 2 paces, especially because that curriculum is mostly based on memorization. So you learn it through songs and stuff at a very young age, and then it'll gradually grow up with you as well, where you just know it now, or you do it through flashcards, etc. Okay, we'll bring these ones back. These ones, again, they're not too horrible, but they're just my least favourite out of the 6. So this is an English pace. What I like about it is that sometimes it can just be quite a fast one to do. You can get it out in a few, maybe half an hour, and quite a lot of pages as well while still learning. But some things I don't like about it is that it can be very repetitive. Like, I feel like I've been learning about nouns and adjectives and pronouns for the past 7 years, which I guess I have, but in that way it is quite good because I know enough about nouns and adjectives and pronouns that it annoys me. So in a way it's good. And then another thing I don't like, these aren't really big dislikes, they're just things that kind of annoy me. Let's say I go to here, you have to write a 3-paragraph composition. 3-paragraph composition just to finish the pace. That's long. That's the only reason I don't like it. Like, it can either be super fast or super long to do. Next, this is word building. This is word building, also known as etymology. And this one can just be a long one to do. So you need to go in the dictionary and find out the meaning of the words, and then you have to learn how to spell the words. One good thing about this is that they don't make you rush into learning how to spell massive words. So they just give you smaller words than you can probably think, oh yeah, I can read this already. But they just want to make sure you can spell it. So yeah, I'm not going to go into too much detail about this one because we did a video already based on the word building paces, and you can look over here or here, don't know where it is, here, to find out more about this one. And then finally, this one I actually don't like. Now, it may seem bad that I don't like this one because it is the biblical studies pace. And while there's nothing necessarily wrong with it, it is just the hardest and longest one to do. So, to start with, you have 2 scripture verses that you need to memorise, along with every single other pace that has 1 to 2 scripture verses that you need to memorise. So in turn, you have 6 books that have 1 to 2 scripture verses that aren't very short that you need to memorise.
Give us an example.
Scripture verses. So this one, they have 1 short one and 1 long one. Thanks be unto God for his unspeakable gift, 2 Corinthians 9:15, and then a long one. But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long-suffering, gentleness, goodness, faith, meekness, temperance. Against such there is no law. Galatians 5:22-23. So I don't have anything wrong with learning the scriptures or the scripture itself. It's just when you have so many to memorise, it can be quite hard, especially because when you need to finish the test and go on to the next one, you need to memorise every single word, the punctuation, the way that the colons go, and if it's a semicolon, if it's 1 Corinthians or 2 Corinthians. So it can generally just be quite hard to keep on top of learning so many scriptures. And then on top of that, you have to learn a different scripture every pace. So in my head, I have like 300 scriptures that I know, and I do understand, I do recognise them when I come up to them, but in the time it's just quite annoying to have to learn 7 or 8 of them at a time per week. But aside from that, it's quite similar to the creative writing cases. You read the Bible and the chapter that they say, and then you answer the question. So there we go. That is my honest and open opinion about the ACE curriculum. Would I recommend it to the average person? No. It is a very heavily Christian-based curriculum, and it's very strict in the way you need to do things. You need to make sure you have a red, green and black pen. You need to make sure you have a King James Version or a New King James Version. Any other Bible will not work. You need to make sure that, well, you don't need to, but you'll get better grades overall if you have their cursive handwriting. You need to make sure your parents or you are happy to supervise, and I'm pretty sure you have to go through a course before you join the curriculum to make sure that you're doing it properly, because they want their curriculum to be held on a high standard, which makes sense. But if you're happy with doing all of those things and you like the way that the curriculum sounds and you actually like it, not just I like the sound of it, then I would definitely recommend it for you. It is a very heavily Christian-based curriculum, and I personally don't think it's something that you should join if you're just going to be doing it for the sake of it, basically. That's literally it. There's no reason for you not to do it, except if your own head and your own mind isn't really thinking about the Christian aspects to it.